Center for the Ethiopian Educational Information and Communication Technology presents Educational Satellite Television Programs.
Hello, teacher. Hello, students. Welcome to today's listening lesson on education. Today, we will listen to a speech and try to identify the speaker's point of view. We will also look at the benefits of higher education and discuss why some students choose to attend university. This should be a very informative lesson. Let us get started. We will begin today by defining two terms that may already be familiar to you. The first term is dropout. This can be used as both a noun and as a verb. When we use the term as a verb, it refers to the act of leaving school without completing one's studies. If a person is described as a dropout, this means that he or she has left school. The second term is graduate. Once again, this can be used as both a verb and a noun. As a verb, it refers to the act of completing school successfully and receiving a diploma or another type of certification. A person is called a graduate of a program or school if he or she has completed all the necessary tasks. Students, please form groups of 3 or 4 and discuss the following question. Why do you think some students drop out of school while others go on to graduate? What factors might be involved? Take a few minutes to think of some ideas and make sure that you write them down.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up. Let's get back to our lesson.
Welcome back, students. What ideas did you come up with? One reason that a person might drop out of school while another goes on to graduate is money. Schooling is often expensive, and not everyone can afford to pay for a full course of study. A change in financial circumstances, such as a sudden illness in the family, can mean that a student is forced to return home to care for his family, while another student goes on to get his diploma. Now I am going to read you a speech on the subject of students dropping out of university. This is a topic of great concern to many schools, and the speech was written by the dean of a university. While you are listening, try to identify and make notes about the dean's arguments as he raises them. Get your pencils ready. I have come to talk to you today as future students of higher education. It takes hard work and sacrifice to get to university, and yet a high percentage of those who make it leave without graduating. This is bad for the individual students, bad for the universities, and bad for the country. By sharing with you the reasons why students drop out, I hope you will be able to avoid doing so yourselves when you enter university. Some students drop out because they develop a medical condition which incapacitates them so they are unable to continue. That is unavoidable. Emotional problems can also be a factor. Students studying away from home may suffer homesickness so badly it develops into depression. Or they may find it difficult to make friends in another part of the country. Students can help themselves in these situations by joining religious, social, or sports societies on campus, which will help them to enjoy student life. Of course, some students drop out because they cannot cope with the work. At university, you have to manage your own studies. Your relationship with your teachers is more distant, and if you are living away from home, you don't have your mother chasing after you to make you do your homework. So students may do badly simply because they don't know how to manage their study time, or because the course is too tough. In the latter case, this can be helped by going to see one of your teachers and asking what you need to do to catch up. It may be that you are not suited to your course, in which case you should change to another one. Being on the wrong course is, in fact, another reason why students drop out. It is very important that you choose a subject that you are suited to and are interested in, rather than one you think is a good idea or has high status. By far, the most common reason for dropping out is finance. It is expensive to study, and the money may simply run out. I do urge you to make sure your finances are in place before you start. Some students work and study at the same time. This is a difficult balance, and it is extremely difficult to do a demanding full-time job and a full-time university course at the same time. Let me end on a more positive note. Some students drop out because they are offered good jobs before graduating. If this is the case, then it is understandable. A famous example is Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, who dropped out of Harvard University to work for IBM. His case was exceptional, and if you do this, you should be sure that the job you are being offered is secure and will lead to as good a career as you could have had with your degree. That was a long speech. Students, please form into groups again. Compare your notes about the dean's speech with the other members of your group, and make sure that you have jotted down all of his points. You can go ahead now.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up! Let's get back to our lesson.
Hello again. I am sure by now you have an excellent set of notes to rely on. Teacher, please lead the class in a discussion about why students drop out of school and what can be done to prevent this from happening. Please make sure that every student contributes to make for a lively conversation. That is the end of today's lesson. We have listened to a speech and identified the speaker's point of view. We have also learned what causes students to drop out of university. In the next lesson, we will cover note-taking as a study skill. Until then, thank you, teacher. Thank you, students.